We're live.
Woo!
Yeah, live. So,
Wow, things have changed since I've been away.
yeah.
Mike can now click the like button. Wow.
Yeah, it's growth right here.
Progress. So yeah, I was just saying that I'm sharing my screen with you because if you could share your screen as well and navigate to the local support repo, and then I will share with you the name of the branch that you want to pull down. Wait, hold on. I think I'm getting confused. Yeah, I am getting confused. Wait. Yeah. The thing I was thinking about is in website 1.
Website 1. Okay.
Yeah. I guess I can I can show you what I was working on yesterday. But yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Too many different projects.
No worries.
I suppose we could carry on trying to get test the Windows thing maybe for a little bit and see how that goes, and then we could switch gears and start an event for Website 1, or we could look at the tickets and see if there's something else that's interesting to work on for
for local support.
Yeah, I started a ticket yesterday, so I was working on trying to see what was going on with our Docker, and I realized that so I guess did you got a chance to look at what Faith posted there? I think Faith's with us. Hey, Faith. Cool. Glad you're doing good. Thanks for joining us. You're muted, by the way. Anyways, so I guess that's the big thing is we need to test on Windows. So what Faith shared with us, don't know if you've seen Joseph or if you've seen Mike, but so she tested it on a Windows machine and it was unable to find. I'll just open up the. It was unable to find a dependency called Google Infobox. Don't know if anyone's ever heard of that.
Nope.
Maybe Faith is muted for a reason and can't explain. Hey, Faith.
Hello.
Do you think you can explain what Google Infobox is or no?
Rumors, maybe.
Rumors. Things you've heard in the grapevine.
Go ahead and explain.
Google rumors.
So it's used for the maps, and yeah, I mean, as the name suggests, it's an info box on the map. So let me see if I have the. Is it this? Okay, so this is the production site. And you can see here that we have all these markers, and these markers, if you scroll over the volunteer opportunity, info box will pop up, and that info box has information, so it's called the info box. So it was actually, I'm not sure if it's this one here or if it's, I think that it's all the same. It's just, yeah, it's just scrolling. This one has scrolling and stuff. So it has information about the volunteer opportunity and who it's for and all that kind of stuff. So what was happening for Windows users is that it wasn't finding this. Although we were able to kind of confirm that for Mac, it at least wasn't erroring out trying to find the file. So it was working within Docker, and this Docker has now been merged into the develop branch. And yeah, we kind of we need to get it set up on one of our machines or all of our machines or something, a reliable way for us to be testing Dockerizing stuff in Windows, because I guess the idea is who will use the Docker the most would be Windows users, I guess. Although I don't know if there are really that many Windows developers out there. I haven't met a lot, but yeah, so that's one thing. And so while I was doing that, I had a look, while I was trying to get set up, I had a look at how things are going in our Docker file. And so we have this as our Docker file, and we're copying, this is our Docker file. No, this is the Docker file for a different branch. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Sorry. Do I have anything here? No, nothing to commit. So I'll switch branches to develop, for example. And then I can close too many things open, close this, and I can open up a new one. So this is our Docker file here. And so we're pulling in the image from Ruby 2.5. We're curling this node source setup. Then we're installing a bunch of stuff, apt-get update, install build essentials, this libpq, Node.js, Qt5 for the WebKit, blah, blah, blah. Then this stuff is for, the libidn that you need for Linux, and configuring it and running make and make install. So that's all fine. Then we set the working directory. Then we copy all the gem file and gem file lock, package.json and package.lock.json. Then we copy the bower.json, and then we check the node version. So this is something that actually our very own Faith put in the PR for. So that's awesome. And then we do an npm install and npm install the Phantom.js that we need to run the tests. So if I come here to the package.json, you can see here that there's a post install script that is actually running Bower install. So this will install all the Bower dependencies that are in the bower.json. So bower.json, bower.json, here we go. So under the dependencies, we have this Google Infobox dependency. And this is being called here on the required Google Infobox. And it was looking for that and not finding it for Windows users. So that's the background into the issue we're having that we need to try to get past. So while I was having a look at this and getting frustrated, Faith joined me, and we didn't record because we were on Slack, which has some benefits actually. I like talking on the Slack because you can. I guess one thing that's not good is you can't share multiple screens, but you can draw on other people's computers, which is cool.
I knew.
So yeah, anyways, so when I was looking at this, I was saying like, if you actually run Bower install anywhere on your computer, Bower actually gives you a message that I shared with the group. Mike, well, I guess Joseph, you're on the group as well, so you might have seen that's like moving away from Bower.
Yeah. I saw this. This is something else starting with an N.
Yarn. So this is directly from the Bower people, and they're telling you to move away from Bower. So they're saying that they don't recommend Bower for any new front end projects. And then they go through the reasons. Yarn uses checksums to verify the integrity of the installed packages. It uses a lock file to reproduce the installed packages each time, and supports most features NPM supports. So then what I did was I put in a ticket on local support and asked for people to vote on it, which some people voted on it. And in the background, I created its own branch and started working on moving away from Bower and using Yarn instead. So, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to go into just talking the whole time, but long story short, you can see there was a lot of build failures. So I got it working locally, both locally and in Docker, which is cool. But then when I threw it up to the build, it failed multiple times. And I went through a lot of different things trying to get it to work, you know.
What was there when you tried to build?
So it's coming up with some really weird errors. So first error it came up with was that it's, so when it goes to the build, it actually, I can show you the travis.yaml file. Travis.yaml. So it goes through this, you know, when it runs through Travis. And so before the script, it's gonna run this this script here, install.sh. So then if I come here to the install.sh, it's gonna run npm install minus it's gonna globally install Bower, which the whole point of the ticket was to do away with Bower. So then I deleted that, and then I ran it again. And then it failed with an error that I was familiar with, having tried to get it working in Docker. So I was like, oh, well, I know how to solve this. I already solved this many times. And what it said was that, here, file, home, Travis, build, Agile Ventures, local support, vendor assets, Bower components is a symlink that does not point to a valid file. So how I was able to get past this locally is by running yarn install, and yarn install actually creates this vendor assets Bower components.
Yep.
What I did as I added that, and then that. So I said add yarn install to the install script, and then ran it again, and then I got a different error, which was it ran yarn install, validating package.json, and then it said like the engine node is incompatible with this module. Expected version is 8.9.4 or above. So I think that probably has to do with Faith and her check version.
Yep.
So I didn't really try to do anything I don't think I really tried to do. So I guess that led.
I think it's the node version you are using, not the same.
Yeah. So maybe I need to update the node version that the Travis is using.
Yeah.
But anyways, I found on Yarn something about adding a frozen lock file if I'm doing stuff on CI. So I tried that. That didn't work. Then I tried adding Yarn to the Travis.yaml. And that didn't work because it didn't have access to Yarn in the Travis. So then I installed Yarn in the Travis and tried that. That didn't work. Then I updated the Yarn version. That didn't work. Many things didn't work. So then I was getting tired. It was like past midnight at that point. So then I said that I would look at it later. But then I actually had remembered that on this Bower. So to do away with Bower, you kind of install npm install this this solution called Bower Away, which is quite nice. And then Bower Away, you run that, and then it will just give you it'll just give you instructions like, oh, do this, oh, do that, oh, do this, oh, do that. So basically what you do is you run Bower Away, and then that will take the Bower dependencies and it will add them to the, I guess now I can go over and show you what I'm talking about. 1.6, no, yes, no, 1.6, no, git checkout, 1.6. Although I don't know if I even have here, and I don't know. I mean, basically you follow this bower away, and then it'll add some stuff to the package.json, and then you can say bower away. I can't remember the command is like to view what that will do, and then you can run, if you like what it is, then you can run apply. Oh, so bower away diff, and it'll show you the difference. And then you run bower away apply to apply it, and then you just keep following. Like every time you run it, it'll tell you what you need to do, and then basically you run yarn, and that was all working. So that was quite nice. But like I said, it was failing on the build because you need to run that extra step yarn, which I mean, maybe is worth figuring out. But then that reminded me that on this site, Bower Away README, it says here, like, if your Bower project depended on a single resource as follows, which is actually our use case. If you remember when I went to the bower.json,
Yeah.
there was only one resource that we have Bower installed for just that one resource. So so then I just actually installed it locally, and then that passed the build and actually works. I don't remember if I tried it in Docker or not. I think I did. But so I just have this Google info box. And actually, when I say it passed the build, it didn't pass the build because of code smells. Back here, like in Code Climate, there's 32 issues to fix, and these issues are all related to that JavaScript, Google Info Box JavaScript. So this is maybe potentially something, if Sam wanted to, that we could just ignore and say, I'm not going to fix that, and that it would pass the build. But the point is it's passing all the tests. So yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I guess I said all that to, I don't know. I don't know if there's something else that, if it's interesting for us to work on something on this, like trying to get it, because I guess like that, I created the ticket to move from Bower to Yarn, and then the solution that ended up coming up with in the end doesn't use Yarn at all. It just takes a copy of the Google Info Box and stores it locally, which potentially could have problems when it needs to be updated. I'm not sure. But yeah. So any opinions about that or questions or?
From me.
Yeah, I guess you should use Yarn instead of installing it locally.
Yep.
I think we should try that.
Okay. Does someone want to
Instead of installing what locally?
The Google Map JavaScript file. Yeah,
Okay.
that one.
Yeah, we have this Google Infobox.js, which allows us to get the functionality, but yeah, as stated, probably has some drawbacks to it because it's not going to be maintained. Like we'd have to actually update this ourselves. So does anyone want to pull down these changes and drive changing the like trying to get this set up to where we run this yarn install during the build, so that it can have access to that in the Bower components?
Yeah, because if we can get it back to where it was throwing an error for the Node version, maybe we can continue from there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's a sensible thing to do, I think. Yeah. So does anyone want to do that? I mean, I don't mind driving, but also.
Yeah, for me, it will be, I don't have local support yet. It will be.
Okay.
difficult for me to set up and everything. It will take time, not difficult.
Yeah.
Also, go for it.
I could do it, though I've been absent-minded. But
You could do it. What?
though I have been absent-minded.
I don't. Not any more than normal, right?
She's always like that. I didn't know that.
I mean, I'm sure we would notice. I mean, I guess what I can do in the background
What
is
branch is that?
so go to the pull request. It's a pull request called Bower Away, and then because the branch number is really difficult. It's like 160006881. So, and then while you're doing that, I guess the other big thing, like that is maybe even more important, is that we still need, like, we've merged in those changes to the Docker stuff that potentially, it seems like it's broken on Windows. So I can maybe try to get a VirtualBox set up in the background and still pay attention.
Okay, I got
go to
to
the-
know.
Pull request.
What's your name?
My name?
Yeah.
My name is Matt. Nice to meet you.
Matt, where
That's it?
are you?
I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. So
It's called what again? What have you said it's called?
it's like
it's a
Bower
pull.
Away.
You said it's a pull request.
Yep. It is. That is true. Faith, that is true. Mm-hmm. Também acho.
Mhm.
Boom, 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 boom. Mm-hmm.
What's going on?
Yeah.
What's going on? Is it
Are
that
you-
Friday feeling?
Are you struggling?
Is it that Friday feeling?
Clearly.
Who's downloading Windows?
Yes, I am downloading Windows. I asked Michael.
I feel your pain. Yeah?
Yeah. I asked Michael if he could test it out for us, and he said he was busy. I said, that's okay. It doesn't have to be now. And he didn't respond. So maybe he doesn't really want to test it out for us. I mean, I don't know if he has a Windows himself or if he has a VirtualBox as well. So, but I guess like I'm deciding as well, like there's a notice I have here. Actually, it went away, but I guess you can update from Ubuntu 16.04 to 18.04, like rather seamlessly. Like you need to back up your data in like some sort of they have like Clonezilla or something like this, and then you can upgrade. But yeah. I'm thinking about doing that, but I guess just getting started with a new, whatever the system is, getting started from scratch, like, you go there and you're like, git clone is like, you don't have git installed. And it's like, what? How do I not have git installed? You have to install git, and then, yeah.
And you have to get git bash and
Yeah.
you have to get npm installed. You have to get Ruby installed, and you have to get
Yeah, true. I didn't even think about all that.
yeah.
But
Well,
really,
I mean, the idea of using Docker is that hopefully you don't have to get all that set up. Like, you should just be able to have Docker and What, Faith?
I'm saying I don't think Mike, you're exaggerating. I didn't have to do all those things. I didn't.
Okay, maybe that made me feel sleepy last night. So I think I'm glad to know that I don't have to do all that.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because like on Met Plus, we're like all getting set up locally and stuff. But the whole, the idea is that you don't need to do that. That's the whole point of using Docker. But yeah, it is.
How comes I can't? What's the name? I'm unable to go to that branch. Do I need to? Why?
I think that get branch -D removes the branch, doesn't it?
Delete.
Yeah. Why did you?
Because I do want it. I want yours. This is what I've created. I have created this branch.
Oh.
So I wanted your version. Sorry.
Okay. I understand. And did you try fetching the branch again?
Yeah.
After you deleted it?
So I fetch that exact branch.
Yeah.
This is like I'm empty, like there's nothing happening here. I'm the one who created this. So I need to add.
Yeah, you can add me. Although I thought that putting in a pull request was enough for you to be able to fetch, but if you don't mind adding me.
I do, but do I have an option?
Yeah. Yeah, they're not doing it, but Faith is
Don't forget.
I thought I need to get.
She's gonna fork.
Okay, what should I do? I thought.
You can.
I thought I needed this.
You just add the.
Do I need?
So you have me as you need a name, yeah, exactly. It's with 2 T's, but whatever. Yes,
I want
name.
I want to add the mat with 1 T.
This type of math is the the math that you step on, Maybe you're saying something.
Just see.
Okay, so yesterday, did you? I don't know if I told you, Faith. I allocated 15 gigabytes, and then Windows takes up like 11 gigabytes by itself. And then when I was trying to Docker,
you didn't have enough space.
Yeah. Okay, you were there. All right, forget it.
So what do I need to do?
So, I guess have a look at the. I think that you need to delete the Google info box.js from the JavaScripts assets JavaScripts.
Delete it.
Yeah.
Done.
And then I guess, can you have a look at the package.json? So does that have in there anything? So that post install is what you want. Yeah. And then I guess, I mean, I think that we can remove the Bower from line 31 because the whole idea is to get rid of Bower.
Wait, what happened to the Oh, no,
Yep.
sorry. I remove line, but can I? Okay. Line 18.
Line 31, I missed that Bower because the whole idea of this is to get rid of Bower.
Okay.
So then you see there on line 30, now line 32.
Hmm.
That's how Yarn has will put that, like it put it as a Bower component. So that will, when you run Yarn, that will create a, actually make sure that it's not there. If you go to the vendor file, folder, don't say okay, vendor/assets, I think. So yeah, good. No, and the Bower components, I think, open that. Yeah. So, and then what's inside of that already? So I think maybe delete that Bower components, and then when you run Yarn, it'll create again. So
What are components?
what are components? Yeah, right. Good question. I guess like for React uses components. Ember JS uses components. So components are things that you can reuse in multiple areas in the project that you can define it in one place and then you can reuse. They're like little snippets of code that you can like. So if for the React, we have like we have button components, for example, that we have defined, and then you can reuse those buttons in lots of different places. The same thing with like modals you can have, or you can have a navbar component. Yeah, Joseph probably could give a better explanation than that, or
Mine. So, explaining what is a component.
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
not to put you on the spot. But, I might put me on the spot.
I'm looking for something to.
I mean, Faith has something there. Faith is.
Because I wanted to show with an okay, yeah, I can use YouTube actually.
Okay.
Oh, is there?
So you're going to play some audio?
No, I'm just going to share my screen. Just this one. So, can you see my YouTube?
Yep, I've clicked on your.
Yeah. So a component, this part can be one component, this video player component, and also now with React you can just make one component called maybe a list video item, and then you're going to pass it a list of videos, and then you're going to have like different components, but you're just reusing one component. So this might be a component, this might be a component, or a good example. Maybe I could go to code sandbox. Choose React. Yeah. So in React, this is one component which is going to render or to display this text inside this div. So this will be one component. I can also make another component to say hi or something. So hello. Maybe. Something like that, and I can also render that here below. You can see another component that's just rendering a hello text. So, but when you are building like a big website like this one, so you'll have a different component like this sidebar. This is a component. This text editor here is a component.
So maybe it's what in Django we'd call the blocks.
I think it's the views.
Views. Okay.
I don't know. I haven't used Django.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a way of like focusing on like the sidebar. It has its own own purposes, and you can focus on like getting that to work, and then you can place it in the context of a larger so apps component is like the whole app, and then for example on the React mob that like that Faith and I were at this morning, then inside of that we have like the AV nav bar, then we have buttons, we have modals, we have lots of other different components, and you can reuse them. Like so now that he's created that component, that hello component, he can reuse that in many different places instead of rewriting the same return with the paragraph tags and hello.
Yeah. So I can
that
use
makes
like
sense.
Again here down and another one, and then we can have as many hello as you want, for example.
So in the context of like this Google info box, like it's a dependency of, it's a Bower's dependency, but Yarn is going to put it into a Bower component folder, and then that's going to it's going to be the program can actually find that and reuse that component. So Faith, have you, I'm not sure what you're doing. Yes. Oh, cool. So I guess I think now you can, I mean, I can go here and have a look at the pull request, but Joseph's idea, which seems like a sensible idea, is that we try to get it back as close as possible to the state it was when it failed with the npm not being a new enough version.
Okay.
So I think I can't find where I am here. So that was this one here.
Are you looking at my? Are you focusing on my screen?
Yes, I'm focusing on yours.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Should maybe can you? I guess if everyone, since I'm focusing on your screen, maybe you can go to the pull request.
Okay.
And then we can pay attention to this. I mean, I think you're at a place where you can run Yarn, although it might be worth trying to go and run the Rails server and trying to go there to the localhost 3000 and seeing. I think at this point, if I'm not mistaken, you should get the same error that you're experiencing in.
I think the version is not correct.
Windows.
Oh, it's correct.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's the area.
We are getting
that's
this as well. Interesting.
yeah. So that's the same error you were getting. That's
Yeah.
like to do with the fact that it can't find that Google Maps info box.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
So it's not even a Docker issue, our installation issue, is it?
actually, sorry. Can you change the on that line 1? Can you change the of the maps.js?
Maps.
Yeah, maps.js. Can you change that Google Maps to Google info box, Google-info box? Because that's how it was. If you look at the pull request, you can see the you can see that's how it was originally. Yeah. So then that should give you the exact same error you were experiencing. I changed that to Google Maps because I was putting it in the Google Maps. Yeah. So that's the exact same error. It tells you everywhere it's looking, you know. So you can see on the very bottom, it's looking in that local support vendor assets Bower components.
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't exist. Now I think if you run yarn, if I'm not mistaken or forgetting something, you should be able to run yarn, and then that will create the link.
Yarn.
Linking dependencies. Now, if you just say like git status, you can see around that node. Yeah, exactly. Yep. And so now if you're in git status, you'll see that that's created that. And now maybe refresh the page and see. I'm not sure. I might be forgetting something. Well, so that was, yeah. And if you just test it by scrolling over one of the test 2, test 1, test 0. No, not clicking on it, just.
Okay.
But you can see there's an info box there. Yeah. So, yeah. So that seems to be working okay. Now, I think it's probably worth testing and to make sure it's working for you locally and like on your machine in Docker as well.
Okay. So I set up.
You don't need to set up, I don't think, because you've already built. And I mean, well, actually, I made some changes to the Docker file. I think you have those changes though. But yeah, you might need to do like a Docker compose up build. But you will need to stop the server in the background now. And like, yeah, that's probably because oh, right. Yeah, interesting. So that's the error that's the same error that I was getting in the build that I showed you guys about the symlink.
What changes have you made in the Docker file?
Have a look. You want?
But I won't be able to see it. Will I?
Why not? Oh, I meant in. Oh, yeah.
Repair.
I just meant if you just open the Docker file, but I don't know if you remember what was there.
Let me see if I can remember.
I mean, I guess we're. Yeah.
Line 20 was line 20 there. Line 24, I can't remember. NPM. Why are we using both yarn and NPM?
Because yarn is replacing Bower. But I mean, it does obviously, yeah, for me as well. It makes me wonder if we shouldn't just migrate from NPM to Yarn, like you put up a ticket for that a while back.
Yeah.
And I think probably that would be sensible. If we're going to use Yarn, why not use it for all the things? And I like Yarn. I was reading a tutorial about this person that said moving from yarn to npm and then back to yarn again, but it was quite a little while ago. So
you've removed the requirements check.
well, actually, that wasn't by design, I don't think. So maybe that needs to be put in. I think that was removed when I ran yarn.
But I thought when you run either yarn or npm, it checks this file and uses whichever instructions you've given it, so it doesn't change it. So how is it possible that it might have been changed when you ran yarn?
Yeah, it definitely did change it because like I didn't remove that line, and I guess it was looking for where it says Bower install, or maybe it's just by default this Bower away. Maybe it was a Bower away instead of yarn. I'm not.
Okay.
100%, you could go back and I guess I don't know. I mean, we could duplicate the results by going and creating a new branch off of develop and running through the Bower away steps, but. Yeah. Anyways. So did you?
Oh, that was you had asked me to look at the changes, and I clearly can't remember. Where is doc file? Oh, okay. So you added. Oh, you copied that. Okay. This wasn't there before. No. Yes.
What was it?
Unsafe npm install G and unsafe params. Line 23. I thought line 23 was there before.
I've lost you, so I don't know. I don't know what you're looking at. Where are you?
You asked. Okay, I also don't know. I think I'm done looking at what I was looking at, which was the changes that has been made on the Docker file.
Where is? Oh, there you go. Yeah. So, yeah. So if you try running Docker Compose up with the tag build, it's giving you that error that's saying that there's no symlink.
Okay.
Is that correct?
Not if I haven't done that.
Yeah. Oh, because you were going through the setup, no? But
Docker Compose up.
Yeah, with the build tag.
What am I missing?
What are you missing?
Yeah.
Why? What? I didn't see the error.
Docker Compose.
Oh yeah, with the hyphen in the middle. You need a hyphen between Docker Compose, and you need 2 hyphens for the tag.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Rather than yarn, it is advised not to mix packet money in order to avoid isolation, consistency caused by asynchronized files.
I mean, maybe that's something we
clear this warning, remove package.
Migrate to yarn.
.json. I haven't said you migrated. I've just said advised not to mix the two.
Yeah,
And
it did run though. You can see, right?
yeah.
And it did run the symlink, require path, resolve node modules / Bower components in the vendor assets Bower components. There, yeah. That's that line that was added to the and then there's something wrong with the way where like this npm install Phantom.js doesn't seem like it's like could not link global install, and so it's skipping and then it's downloading. So I'm not sure if there's a better way we can add that, but anyways. So so if you scroll up, so it's getting that weird error. So can you go to a different terminal, or you could do in that one as well, I guess, and run Docker compose. I can need to stop it. The Docker compose run web bash. Docker -compose run web bash. No, you don't need a tag for a run. That tag was for the RM, which is like removes if successful. But I don't think you need that for bash.
This is to enter into the.
Yeah, so now you have a bash terminal, and now can you run yarn?
Ooh, done.
So maybe this is why the yeah. Now you can exit out of that and see if it works. Just instead of build, you can just say Docker compose up. No. Interesting. Right. So that's good. I guess I would probably go back into the bash terminal and remove that Bower components file that I told you to remove locally, and then run yarn again. Yeah. Move -rf, yeah, and then no, not that one. It's in the vendor /assets.
Slash.
Yeah, and then Bower components.
Then
yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Yep. And now run yarn again. Already up to date.
So there's a high chance.
Yeah, I mean,
So we're not getting that.
Yeah, so that did seem like it worked. Can you go there into the terminal and refresh the page?
Terminal.
Browser. Yes. So it's working, I guess.
Yes.
Unless I'm missing something, but it seems to be working.
Yeah.
It's not erroring out, and I mean, so that's That's interesting. I think like maybe as part of the build, we need to delete delete that Bower Components folder, and then we need to run yarn again to get it to, because we had to do that both. So we got an error when we went locally and tried it, and then we yeah, I think it happens locally and on Docker file, unless I'm missing something. Is that where
But
you?
let me confirm. Control C. What changes have we made here? Sending.
Yeah, so it seems to be the same error, right?
Is a simple link that does not print. Okay, so to fix it, it was to run yarn.
Yeah, I think you have to remove that file first. But you're on the develop branch?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, so
I mean, I think probably because when you stashed your when you stash, that only stashes untracked files.
yeah.
I mean, it doesn't stash untracked files. So you brought over that Bower Components from the branch that you were on to the develop branch.
True. So what do I do?
Just delete it, you know, like that Bower Components folder is only important for what we're doing. So it's not supposed to be on the develop branch. Like if you want to verify that, you can go into the develop branch on GitHub and you can see, but or you can say GST and it'll show you that it's an untracked file. So if it's untracked, it means that it's not on the develop branch. Yeah, see untracked files. So that's something that's not, yeah, it's not part of the develop branch. Journal?
Oh, makes sense.
You know what I mean? Try not to mean. Yeah, I mean, I was kind of excited to do. It was actually, I got confused with the project, but there's a website one pull request review comment thing that was really nice in Ruby refactoring stuff. It would be cool to get to, but it's saying you have a server running. You need to remove that temp /pid/server.pid. You can say like rm minus rf. You can probably, I mean, you could probably just remove the entire temp folder.
Temp folder.
Yeah, you see there where it's saying a server is already running. Check the local support /temp/pid/server. Can you see?
What's the command?
It's just rm minus
Oh,
rf.
remove the, okay, the
TM.
TM. It's the whole folder.
Yeah, you can remove the whole folder. It's just a temporary folder. It's not something that is important or is, yeah. And what are you trying to verify? Sorry, how it looks on the develop branch.
Or that you're having the same issue everywhere. Yeah. How comes they do? So who brought
Yeah,
up
we
the
shouldn't
issue?
have an issue there, you know, because that's the develop branch.
Yeah, and look what I
And the
have
develop
here.
branch is definitely working.
And why do I have an issue?
Probably because you need to. You might maybe having. I don't know. Can you stop that and go to your code, VS Code, and see what the package.json looks like and all that good stuff? I mean, it could be that you need to run npm install or like Bower install, something like that, you know?
Okay.
But in your package.json, you have Bower and you have you have Bower. And so I think you need to run that Bower install, you know, which is what you do. And then that'll go in and install the dependency. Yeah. So now maybe it'll work.
Okay. So in our Docker file, we didn't add.
Well, we didn't add this because that's in the post install of the I actually did add that. But that's in the post install.
Okay.
So it's running that as when you run npm install, it runs that.
Okay.
I guess the thing that would be interesting, So I mean, I think we've kind of I don't know, maybe we've confirmed that, and we can try to see what the magical combination of things we need to do to get it to pass the build. I guess what I'm thinking is that we need to actually remove that Bower components folder.
We go back to our branch.
What's that?
I go back to our branch.
Yeah, I think so, because it'd be nice to take a step forward.
Should I return the changes? Or we don't need it?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, because why? So I just reinstalled a new ISO image of Windows 10, and it's still saying here no bootable medium found. So, Faith?
Yes, I was looking at your screen.
Hello, Josipovich. Yeah. Are you still sharing your screen, Faith?
Yes.
Okay. So, what's happening?
I didn't answer. I've forgotten. Should I revert back the status changes.
Yes. So I guess now we need to, maybe as part of the install script, we need to, I don't know. I mean, does anyone else have any other ideas? I guess maybe we could do it inside of the Travis.yaml, but I think that Travis calls the install script. One of the things I noticed is that the yarn that they're using in like maybe yeah, I guess if you look at the builds, the yarn that they're using is like 1.3, and we're using 1.9 locally. But so not in the Docker file, in the install script.
I eventually need to
install.sh. Yeah. So we need to, before we run bundle exec, all that stuff, we need to actually, I think, remove the Bower components file.
So right after?
No, before the bundle exec.
That's right.
I can't really see because they have the screen sharing green stuff in my face. But
Okay, so
yeah.
can you
If we
see?
can, yeah. I don't know if we can just say remove, or if we need sudo. I think we can just say remove. I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if this is gonna work. But yeah, that's the idea, is to do that and then run yarn.
So we need to fix this issue, because why are we using yarn instead of just running npm?
So yarn is because yarn gives us the ability to install the Bower dependencies, and npm doesn't.
Okay.
That's why we're moving from Bower to yarn.
Okay, so then it means this, in this MPR, we're going to migrate.
Sorry?
Are we going to migrate in this MPR from npm to yarn?
I don't know. I mean, the PR was not to migrate from npm to yarn. It was to migrate from Bower to yarn. So,
but this PR introduces a mix of both. So don't you think it's enough reason to do both and say this also fixes this issue?
I mean, maybe you might be able to make an argument for that. Yeah.
Okay.
I guess I logically I would agree with that. Why not just migrate everything to yarn? Although there's, if I'm not sure how, if that's was something that was voted on and that's something that people want to do, or namely Sam or the client. I guess the client doesn't. I don't know if the client would have anything to say about that, because it's more of a DevOps thing. But
some might be in a position.
Yeah, I'm sure he would have an opinion about that. But the idea is that Bower is telling us to move to yarn and to handle dependencies. So we need to move away from Bower for sure. And you can use both yarn and npm, even though it doesn't seem like it's maybe the best setup.
Yeah, you can use both.
And we've verified that it's working locally. We've verified that it's working in our Docker file. So now we just need to get it to pass the build. And we verified that it passes the build if it can get past this part where it can find the file.
Yep.
So, I mean, we could do that, and then we can, we can directly, the next thing we work on is moving npm to yarn. That way we can say, hey, listen, we worked on both these tickets, but
Okay. So that's fine, right?
yeah, I think so. I mean, potentially not, you know, but I mean, you saw that I sent it up like 5 or 6 or 7 times last night, thinking that it would be okay, and it wasn't. So it's definitely possible that it's not, but
Okay. Who runs this? Running the package with Jason.
oh, just fed the leaf.
Yeah. Boring people.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that maybe if this doesn't work and it's not really clear what to do, maybe we can maybe we can move on to that more exciting Ruby thing that we will be able to see some nice results from.
Okay. Question.
Yes.
The install script is only run in the Travis YML, not in our project.
Yes.
Then
It looks like it, yes.
how is that going to fix our problem if it's only for...
Well, the thing is, we don't have a problem.
And why did I have to install? Is it because I deleted that file? Why did I have to do this? Yeah.
Where on the develop branch?
Yeah.
You had to do it on the develop branch because, well, that's a problem that exists. That if you look at the README for the repo, but yes, to answer your question in short, I think that is why you needed to do it.
So it means, oh, okay. So I was mixing up two things. So I was mixing up the issue that we were trying to solve for Docker and the issue we are working on now. So the issue we are working on now is only moving from npm Bower to, it's just installing Bower to using Yarn to install Bower, right?
Yes. And then, I mean, I guess like I wouldn't even need to be trying this on I wouldn't even need to be trying this on Docker. It's just that since I know that we're working on the Dockerization as well, I wanted to see if it would work.
Okay. And did it work?
Yeah, you just did
it. True. So instead of, I had to get into the shell command. So instead of,
yeah, I mean, that's potentially something.
The other thing that we would have done is add those commands in the Docker file.
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
We could add that to the Docker setup. And I mean, it is in the Docker file already. We do a yarn install in the Docker file, but for some reason it's not being copied over. Maybe we need to do yarn install first, and then we need to explicitly copy over that that information. Like, you know, we need to say copy, and then, you know, /vendors /assets /Bower components, and copy it into the local support, and maybe that would be enough to get it to work. Or maybe it would still have that same error about
okay.
I'm not sure, you know.
So how do I confirm? I have to push it for us to confirm that it's working.
Yeah. That's the only way to confirm it. And yeah, like I said, I mean, I don't know how many times we want to. So I do have a working something that is working. So and I don't know, Sam hasn't commented on what he thinks about it.
Oh, you didn't have something that's working?
Yeah. I mean, when you pulled it down, it was already working. It was passing the build, although it was failing the code smells, but the code smells are something that we can like say, hey, we've checked it out and we want you to ignore that.
My mark is sleeping. That work. So, as we wait for it to pass, what are we going to be doing next? Should we?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully that passes. Like I said, I have something that I mean, we need to figure out how we're gonna test this Docker stuff.
I could just branch out to another what do you call branch, and then test it out.
But you don't have Windows, do you?
Oh.
The thing is that the Docker file works fine. It's just that it doesn't work on Windows. So that's what we need.
Sure? Now that
I can install Docker on my Windows and try it out.
now that
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to do that as well, but it's not seeming to work, you know. So I don't know. I mean, it worked the first time I did it, but then now every time I try to install, I just downloaded a new Windows 10 ISO image, and it's not working now. It's saying it's not finding a bootable image. So it's potentially, maybe there's something happening in the when it's downloading that's causing that error. I mean, I can try downloading it again, but yeah, like, I mean, that's a priority, because we need to work on the Met Plus stuff. Working on the Met Plus stuff when we don't have an actual working Docker file on local support doesn't seem like it's as much of a priority. I think we need to actually verify, and also, like, the fact that we need to be able to verify that actually we can get it working with Windows is something that every time we run into an issue with Docker, we need to I mean, not every time we run into issue, every time we decide to Dockerize a project, we need to make sure that it works with
every device.
Windows, you know. So I don't know. I'm downloading another image, and let's see if that works. If not, then I don't know what I'm gonna. I was reading here about check to make sure you selected Linux and Ubuntu when you created your virtual machine. No, I was happy to see this message when I first ran VirtualBox. Simply means that you haven't told your virtual machine where to find it on its OS. In the virtual machine window, go to storage and medium, see image below. Okay, so maybe I didn't tell it where to find it. I'm not sure. I can double check that after I get there. It also gives the same error if you have selected the ISO or a boot disk like this, but it's inappropriate one. For example, I had this problem. I don't know. Anyway, so we need to figure that out. And also, I mean, I think that, you know, maybe we can, that's something that we don't really need to do together, but we need to do before we move on, I guess. So I think that the thing that I think would be most interesting to do is to do that website one stuff, which would be much more interesting for all of us, I think. I guess there's two different things on website one that would be good for us to work on together, because they both involve Ruby and refactoring and having a look at, like, getting to know the website one repo better and seeing the logic that's behind it and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah. So this is 1.5 hours already. Do we stop this and start another?
Yeah, but I think maybe I don't know. I think Faith stopped sharing her screen, but I was just gonna see what the results of this.
I am still sharing.
Were you able to push up or no?
Yes, I was.
Well, I hate to contradict you, but there's nothing here on the pull request. So maybe you pushed up to the wrong branch. Not the wrong branch, but the wrong.
Of course. I just
The wrong
realized that.
remote.
So
Maybe.
yeah, but I haven't. Git push. I thought I was just supposed to say git push.
Oh. Yeah, I think I need to give you permissions, no? Can't just go pushing to my repo.
So
Now you can.
where is this branch?
Where is this branch?
So my changes, where have they gone?
Wait.
Huh?
Talking to me.
Yeah, I just pushed.
But it didn't. I haven't given you permission to push.
But I pushed somewhere, so.
Well, that might be true, but if you don't push to the repo that put in the PR request, then it won't actually run the build, will it? Faith and what is it? Faith and something?
Oh, NG.
NG. The original NG. All right. Add collaborator. And then if you, should I send you the
Yeah.
link address? There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess we can create another event for website 1.
Okay.
I don't know, Mike, do you want to do that, or I can do that, or Faith can do that, or someone else
That's
can
the
do
only
that?
thing I'm gonna do right now. I haven't done that thing since it started down.
Yeah, I mean,
but you know, Matt, do I need to clone your repo?
no.
Remote.
I think you added me as a remote, so.
No. Why would I add you as a remote?
You definitely did add me as a remote.
But it's Matt, right?
Yes.
So how comes I need to write git push Matt?
Matt, and then the branch 1600.
Oh. I didn't know how to do this.
Interesting. Failed to push some refs to Faith.
Yeah.
So you said you set your repo as that. You're
So
silly.
how do I delete a remote?
Yeah, get remote remove, but you can check remote V first and see what's going on. Maybe.
Remote V.
No, sorry. Hyphen G. Oh, so you do have me set up as Matt. So git push. Then Matt, and then the branch name.
I don't need to.
Yeah, so that should have started the build. And yeah, Mike, I mean, I'm happy if you want to do some driving on this next one. It's probably a lot more interesting than what Faith just did. But yeah, I mean, if we get to a place, maybe we can switch drivers as well, so Faith can have fun as well, not just
there. So I'm going to stop the broadcast and start the new event.
Really?
All right.
Why?
Why?